CLTV, Chicagoland's television, this is the CLTV Afternoon News.
One good pie deserves another.
A Chicago tradition comes to an end. The Bozo Show is canceled. Motorola eliminates thousands more jobs in their latest cost-cutting move.
You know, it's like a wedding day. There's just a spirit of excitement that never, it lasts about 18 hours.
Plus, we go behind the scenes to get ready for a day filled with glitz and glamour, the 73rd Annual Academy Awards. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Albert Bonaparte. Now to our top local story. A tradition 4 decades in the making is over.
Bozo Circus is on the air.
After 40 years, WGN announces its ending production of the Bozo Super Sunday Show. The Bozo Show was one of the country's longest-running productions in local television. WGN management says growing competition along with general decrease in kids' television viewing has made it difficult for the Bozo Show to compete as a local production. So the question remains, how will the show end?
Oh, I think another pie fight. Another pie fight, yeah. That's kind of appropriate, I think. Yeah. I don't know. That's probably the best way to go.
The final Bozo Show airs on August 26th. Cell phone giant Motorola put 4,000 more jobs on the chopping block today. The company blames a slowing economy as the cause for the layoffs. Since December, Motorola has announced plans to slash 22,000 jobs from its workforce of 147,000. The company says it will continue to monitor the market and says even more cuts could be on the horizon. One prosecutor calls it an unspeakable horror. A 9-year-old girl raped, choked, and poisoned back in 1997. That girl, now known as Girl X, takes a stand today in the trial of Patrick Sykes, the man accused of attacking her in the stairwell of a Cabrini Green housing complex. CLTV's Julie Unruh is following the story and joins us now.
Opening statements were brief but direct. Prosecutors described every detail from January 9th of 1997, starting with the day in the life of an average 9-year-old who lives in Cabrini Green, taking us right up to the moment that girl was raped, beaten, and poisoned. Prosecutors say that's a moment in time when that young 9-year-old girl was changed into the girl we commonly refer to as Girl X. With the defendant, 29-year-old Patrick Sykes, in the courtroom, the prosecution recounted the incident Sykes stands accused of, taking jurors back to the time and the place. January 9th, 1997, Cabrini Green. Without missing a detail, Assistant State's Attorney William O'Brien described a child turned victim when she was allegedly lured to this apartment 4 years ago. Prosecutors claim the child, then 9 years old, was raped, beaten, and later left for dead on this concrete landing. For nearly 3 months, hundreds of investigators combed the area, interviewed witnesses, and came up with little, until they found Patrick Sykes. Sykes sat emotionless, accused of the crime he says he did not commit, while prosecutors say he covered up the crime, left his home, and changed his own physical appearance to avoid getting caught. Sykes' attorney, Robert Byman, said, as he told us a week ago, the evidence does not implicate his client.
The physical evidence in this case uniformly excludes Patrick Sykes.
I didn't do it. The evidence shows it. That's just basically what I can say.
Girl X herself is expected to take the stand. The question before the court right now, should a certified speech therapist familiar with her means of communication and her disabilities be allowed to interpret and translate for the young girl? Julie Unruh, CLTV News.
An Indiana woman will spend the next 17 years behind bars for murdering a Valparaiso Burger King manager. Police say Lori Thomas claims that she and a manager, Lisa Getz, came up with a scheme to make it look like someone robbed the restaurant. The manager went into the freezer to play the robbery victim. Thomas took the money, then set the place on fire. The manager died from hypothermia, waiting for authorities to find her. Chicago police are setting up their efforts to find the killers of a Southside high school teacher. They say 56-year-old Wardella Winchester was kidnapped in front of her home a week ago today, then shot in the head. Workers at this South Suburban recycling plant found her body this past Wednesday. The Chicago Tribune reports a close relative of Winchester's admitted to the police he stole a large amount of money and drugs from a drug dealer. Investigators are looking into whether Winchester was a target of retaliation. Chicago officials must decide today whether to grant a permit to the Ku Klux Klan. They want to rally in front of the City Hall near the Holocaust Museum in June. Last December, they rallied and 9 people were arrested, including the Grand Wizard of the Klan, who was found with a loaded gun. And officials in Schaumburg are considering a request from white supremacist Matt Hale. The Daily Herald reports a Hale follower is trying to book a room in the Schaumburg Public Library for a speech by Hale next month. The library board says the event could disrupt library business and compromise the safety of patrons. A meeting is planned on Sunday to make a final decision. $2.5 million later, the CTA reopens the Holman entrance of the Blue Line. CTA President Frank Krause was on hand to officially open the new Forest Park stop. The new facility is equipped with better lighting and is handicap accessible. Before the Forest Park stop closed, 2,600 people passed through it each day. A form of mad cow disease is discovered on the East Coast, and some say it will come to Illinois. Plus, would you pay $435 for a hammer? The government did. Next, where your tax dollars are going. And Gary, Indiana's airport enters the race to be Chicago's 3rd airport.